Okay, Tracy, we are live on YouTube.
Excellent. Well, welcome everyone to the Community Board 10 Environmental Committee meeting. Today's date is September 30th, and it's 7:03. Um, so tonight we have the representatives from the DEP here for a presentation regarding upgrades at Owl's Head treatment plant, as well as reviewing the Packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure Act. Um, so I guess I would like to turn it over to the DEP representatives if you'd like to introduce yourself. And
Sure. Thank you so much for hosting us. I'm Brian Lamberta with the Department of Environmental Protection, and I'm here to share exciting news about the rehabilitation project at Owl's Head. Joined with Alicia West, who is our Senior Advisor for Planning and Strategy. And we also have Colin Johnson here. We have slides to share, so I will share my screen. Okay. I'm sure many of you on the Environmental Committee are familiar with DEP and with the Owl's Head Wastewater Resource Recovery Facility, but I want to give a brief overview. Each day, DEP delivers 1 billion gallons of drinking water, treats 1.3 billion gallons of wastewater, operates 14 wastewater resource recovery facilities and 96 pumping stations. We maintain 7,000 miles of water mains, 7,500 miles of sewers, 109,000 fire hydrants, and 150,000 catch basins. We're here today about a wastewater project. Wastewater is the water we use when we flush the toilet, take a shower, run a washing machine. New Yorkers produce over 1.3 billion gallons of wastewater every day. Wastewater is treated at wastewater resource recovery facilities. DEP has a network of 14 wastewater resource recovery facilities, or WRFs. They have played a key role in improving the quality of New York City's waterways by reducing pollution and supporting the ecological health of local water bodies. Today, the waterways are so much healthier. We've seen dolphins, whales, other marine life returning. I think there's some seals in southern Brooklyn too. Right now, DEP's focus is on water quality in Jamaica Bay and the Upper East River. So Owl's Head WRF, this is the wastewater resource recovery facility that does the hard work in your community. It was put into operation in 1952, and it was last upgraded in 1995. So it's time for an upgrade. It was designed to treat 120 million gallons of wastewater a day. It serves nearly 800,000 people across nearly 13,000 acres in Western Brooklyn, including all of Community Board 10. It also serves portions of Community Boards 7, 11, and 12. And it releases clean water into Upper New York Bay. It is also open for tours on 10/17 as part of Open House New York weekend. I believe some folks on the community board may have had the opportunity to tour this last year. This picture from Gothamist might actually be from that tour. Gothamist actually named Owl's Head WRF one of the 19 coolest places you can see for Open House New York weekends. The tickets are available on Open House New York's website. So we are here as part to show you a project where we are upgrading the air blowers, the aeration tanks, and the final settling tanks to make our operations more efficient, more reliable, and safe. These elements are core to the wastewater treatment process. The air blowers provide oxygen to tanks where microorganisms that eat the organic matter in the air blowers provide oxygen to tanks where microorganisms eat the organic matter in the wastewater. When the microorganisms are full, they sink to the bottom of the tanks and are removed from the water. The New York City Public Design Commission is currently reviewing this project. So this is a state of good repair project. I will now hand it over to Colin to talk us through the elements of it.
Thank you, Brian, and good evening, everyone. As Brian mentioned, my name is Colin Johnson. I'm what's known as an accountable manager in DEP's Bureau of Engineering, Design, and Construction, and I'm the project manager in charge of OH88, the rehabilitation and reconstruction of several elements, key elements of the wastewater treatment process at Owl's Head facility. As you can see on your screens, this project touches more than half of the surface area of the facility. The three process areas that we are looking to rehabilitate and upgrade are the air blowers, the aeration tanks, and the final settling tanks. These areas are all basically the key components of the treatment process at Owl's Head. Next slide, Brian. Thank you. So first off, the air blowers, they are literally what they sound. They are the mechanisms. They're about the size of a car that take the surrounding air and push it through the process system into the aeration tanks. The work is interior. They're adjacent to the tank area, and it's inside in a building known as the Pump and Powerhouse. Excuse me. We are going to replace the existing blowers. They're more than 20 years old. They're working just fine right now, but we're noticing a loss in their capacity at the moment. So we want to get ahead of any problems and replace them now. Along with the blowers, we're going to change the filters, the air piping, and associated electrical equipment that is used to operate that system as a whole. The only elements that would be visible to the public would be small units on the roof of the Pump and Powerhouse building, a cooling unit for the building, a silencer, aeration blowers that tend to be pretty loud, and a chiller. They also tend to run pretty hot. So these are the only elements, and they're about the size of a regular air conditioner and maybe a little bigger. So they're not really eyesores per se. Next slide, Brian. Then obviously we're going into the aeration tanks. As you can see, these are big, long tanks just filled with wastewater that the oxygen is pumped through. The oxygen helps the microbiology to break down the pollutants in there. So what we are going to do is drain out the tanks, clean them, and change many of the elements in there. Also do concrete repairs, replacement of the valves, gaskets that are the piping connection. The system that regulates the process air supply, we're going to change that, and general instrumentation and control improvements as well. Next slide, Ryan. And then finally, no pun intended here, the finally settling tanks. Again, these are just big tanks where the water sort of sits and lets the solids settle out or float to the top, which are then removed. We're going to drain and clean the tanks, rehabilitate the concrete within and around them, replace a lot of the mechanical and electrical components that are used to operate them. The building in the background is what's known as the return waste sludge building. Its principal purpose is to take the solids that are removed from the tank and move them around the plant and various process elements. We're going to be building another floor onto that one, cleaning the facade, adding electrical components on the interior, and on the roof, we're actually going to be creating a green roof area. Next slide, Brian, please. This is a rendering of what that building will look like afterwards. It will really be the most prominent piece of this project that could be seen by the public if you were looking. And here's just generally what we are looking to create through this project. And here you can see where the green roof is going to be. It's going to be on a couple layers. Hopefully it will be that colorful, but we will need to get the plants to, put the plants up there first and get them to take. But this is what we have designed, and this is what we are intending to construct there. Our schedule at the moment, we have completed design. We are going through reviews of the contract, and we're hoping to start the work next summer, sometime in August, give or take. And then we are expecting the project to take approximately 4 years. So we're looking to be done in the winter of 2031. All the work is within the campus area. Obviously there will need to be trucks delivering equipment and materials to the site. They're going to follow established truck routes, so they shouldn't be all over the place in the neighborhood either. It should be regulated to certain areas and certain times.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
We're here to answer any questions you may have.
Anne, do you have a question? Hand raised.
Yes. How much taller and how much larger is the footprint of the building as compared to the old one?
So the footprint is going to remain the same. We're not expanding that at all. We're just adding a sort of a second floor to a portion of the building. I don't know off the top of my head how much taller it's going to be, but it's generally just an additional floor. So around 15 feet.
We can get you the specific number.
And just briefly, why is it necessary?
We're installing new electrical equipment, and from when the building was originally built to now, there have been updates to the electrical code, so we have to comply with spacing requirements.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to ask a question. So like basically everything's happening inside. There won't be any kind of noise pollution or anything. I know that the docks, when they were replaced, there was a lot of, there's a lot of noise that needed to be to happen.
Attenuated.
Yeah. But so like this is just basically all internal. This is not really a repair. It sounds like it's more of like a rehabilitation update and not really a repair.
There's not really a whole lot of demolition that will be going on. So the concrete structures within the tanks, we're not looking to tear that down and rebuild it. We're looking to repair and rehabilitate what we have there. Quite frankly, the noisiest aspect of this whole work is the blowers. And there are already 4 blowers there and they're operating. So that's really, it's not going to change much, the noise, because they're inside the building and we do things to attenuate the sound and dampen it out as well. So no, the simple answer is no. I would not expect there to be a noise disturbance or noise pollution because of this project.
Great. Thank you.
Tracy, I have a question about the proposed building section where you have the gallery. Is that also, is there a change in height? It looks different from each of the scales here. Is that also, in addition to the electrical room, second floor addition, is the height of the gallery changed at all?
Not of the roof itself, but there are going to be railings and things put up there as a walkway, because we'll have people who will transverse it. So we just have to add some safety aspects.
Okay, and the facade of the building will remain the same. Could you talk a little bit about the construction materials? Is that going to remain the same as well?
Yeah, the aesthetics of the exterior of the building, we're going to maintain, but we're going to clean them up. So we're going to basically give the building a good scrub down, to put it simply.
At the beginning of the presentation, what was the date that it was last updated? Was it in the 90s?
95.
95. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure a lot has changed since then.
Believe it or not, 30 years ago.
Yeah, I know. All right. Does anyone else have any questions?
I just have a procedural question for you, Brian. So my understanding is this is going to be presented to the Public Design Commission. I know the board, community boards have an opportunity to provide comments. Is that required for this project?
You do have the opportunity to provide that. They are reviewing it now, so they will be reviewing it as part of their October meeting in 3 weeks.
Okay. All right. So Tracy, that means that we could, if we'd like to provide any comments, we could make that, we could render a motion tonight and provide that to the full board at our October general board meeting to be submitted to the Public Design Commission.
Okay. Trying to what is the best, or I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase the motion.
So Ibrahim has his hand raised.
Sure.
Yes. Hi, Brian. Thank you. Informative presentation. Question about the park. Is it going to be restricted during construction or closed or just normal? Nothing, this construction will not affect it.
It won't affect the park. Construction's being done internally.
And what address are you going to use for the construction trucks or the entrance? The one in Bay Ridge or the other side?
The one in Bay Ridge.
Bay Ridge? So it's going to be traffic in that area. And, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dino Hatsis. Dino, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is this going to increase the capacity that it can process? And if so, is it going to affect the odor that emanates from it occasionally for those who live near the area?
No, it's not affecting the capacity of the plant. That's remaining unchanged. It's just improving the ability to treat the wastewater that's already conveyed there. So it's improving the treatment, and essentially.
Is that going to affect the effect that it has, in terms of like air quality in the area?
It should be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, just to follow up on Dino's question, Colin, I would imagine when you're draining the tanks, I mean, typically we do get odor complaints when there are works on the tank. So we just, as a reminder, and the agency's been great in notifying us. If you could just let us know, should there be any, during construction, if there are times when that may create an odor situation, if you'd let us know, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, I'm making a note of it right now.
Now, Ibrahim, do you have another question, or is that from before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just about the capacity. Will it increase the capacity of the plant? And is this like a response to the zoning change that happened?
I'm not sure about the second part, but the first part is no. The plant will remain rated at 120 million gallons per day.
Thanks.
Okay. So as far as bringing it to the board, Josephine, just a standard motion to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a state of good repair project. I mean, the motion could be just, simply supporting the redesign as submitted by the Department of Environmental Protection. We'll make sure we send it out to the board in advance, of the meeting. I'm assuming we'll have a copy of this deck. That would be, helpful that we could share in advance.
Please.
And that's, and if there are any other comments we'd like to add with the Public Design Commission, we could do that too, but it could be simply just the support of the design as presented.
Okay. So the motion is to support the design as proposed and provide feedback to the design. Do I have a second?
Okay, yep, I see lots of hands. Richard has a second.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All in favor, if you could just raise your hands. Perfect. Any opposed? I don't see any opposed, abstentions, recusals. Perfect, motion passes. And we'll be sure when this is presented to the board at our October general board meeting, we'll send you a copy of correspondence that we provide to the Public Design Commission.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Well,
Thank you so much. All right, have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Okay, Tracy, so you have a second agenda item.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that before that, sorry, my brain just stopped working. The Packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure Act that we would voted on at last meeting would go and is going in front of the board, the general board. But I wanted to just see if anyone had input on it, if they had a chance to read it when it was sent around. It looks pretty standard to me. But I just wanted to get feedback from the committee before I bring it in front of the full board.
Tracy, I could share the draft resolution and Carol's actually here tonight. I could share the draft resolution that she shared with us.
Thank you. That would be helpful.
If
And
if it cooperates with me. Okay, here we go.
right. Can everyone see that?
Yeah, did you want me to read it real quick?
Sure.
So this would, the draft resolution is to support for the New York State Assembly and Senate to pass a strong packaging reduction and recycling infrastructure act, whereas packaging makes up approximately 40% of the waste in New York State, and whereas managing waste costs New York taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars annually, and whereas most plastic packaging is not recyclable and reusable and refillable packaging systems are not widely available, and whereas plastic causes serious pollution, including litter and use of toxic chemicals, and whereas companies that produce packaging should be responsible for the cost of managing packaging waste, not just taxpayers, and whereas enacting the Packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure Act pending in the New York Assembly and the New York State Senate would reduce waste, increase recycling rates, create jobs, reduce toxicity in packaging, provide millions of dollars in savings for local governments and taxpayers, and lower greenhouse gas emissions. Be it resolved that Brooklyn Community Board 10 urges the New York State Legislature to pass Governor Kathy Hochul to sign into law a strong, effective packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure Act, and she names the Senate bill and Assembly bill. Resolved further that Brooklyn CB10 shall forward copies of this resolution to Governor Kathy Hochul, the New York State Assembly Speaker, and New York State Senate Majority Leader, the local assembly members and state senators, and others deemed necessary and proper.
Thank you, Joe.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Josephine. Hi, Carol. How are you? Sorry.
Since I live in the district, I just thought I'd come to the meeting
Yeah.
and see how it goes, so.
That's great. Welcome. And
Thank you.
I'm not sure, is every committee member that's here tonight, were they here for Carol's presentation, or I think everybody was here, right?
I was not. I'm
You were
sorry.
not.
No.
Oh,
I wasn't.
okay. Just to fill you in, and I believe that it's passed the assembly. It's just
passed the
going now
Senate.
to the Senate.
No,
But
I'm very
Senate.
excited about it.
Sorry?
I'm very excited about it.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah, Carol, I'm sorry, Carol had
I'll
something.
just clarify, it has already passed the state Senate. It's the Assembly that has enough co-sponsors to pass, but it was not brought up by Heastie at the end of the session in June, July, whatever that June, I guess.
And what's the expected date?
Well, my understanding is that in January, the same session will reconvene, and therefore the Assembly can still just vote on the existing bill that has
Okay.
already passed the Senate.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. That was the only thing, is I just wanted to see if anyone had any input. But other than that, if there's nothing else that is on the agenda, I think we could probably
These are efficient.
Yeah.
call the meeting.
Yeah.
I like
So
these.
did you want to present this at the October general board meeting?
I would. I
Okay,
thought, yeah.
then we do need a motion.
Okay. Okay. So the motion is to present this resolution to the full board, to be able to send to the assembly.
I would
as
like to
support.
second it.
Great.
Thank
All
you.
right, all in favor? Please, okay. Looks like it's unanimous, so I don't have to even ask for opposed, abstentions, or recusal. So, all right, so thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Have a good